to the TED Show. We are launching a new series specifically geared toward our real estate brokers, our partners, anyone in the real estate world. And honestly, if you're a business owner, CEO, CFO, you're going to get a lot out of this too. I have the one and only Marion Weiler with Weiler International with me, the other one and only Yvonne Sandoval with Leverage 365. And of course, you know I'm Ted Bogert with the TED Show and VIP Mortgage Group. Broker Pains is the name of this show. I love it because I think all of you out there are experiencing what's going on in the market. You're trying to attract new agents. You're trying to keep new agents. You're trying to run your businesses. You're trying to figure out how to stay afloat in a crazy market where it feels like the deals are unending, but you still have to plan and you still have to get your teams engaged. You have to make sure your business is top of mind all the time. And so we're going to take a deep dive into all of these topics, and we want you to give us feedback. When you watch the shows, tell us some things that you want us to talk about, and we will make sure that the pros here take care of that. All right, so I have to do the intros. Both of these amazing human beings have been on the show before multiple times. We have Marion Weiler with Weiler International, and she's going to be giving us a lot of the information and the points and the insights and the nuggets that we all need. And then I have my partner in crime on so many things, Yvonne Sandoval with Leverage 365. She and I are going to be engaging and sharing our little insights while Marion really gives us the 411 on our topics. So today we're going to talk about agent retention. Agent retention, so important. But before we take a deep dive in there, I want the ladies to introduce themselves so we can get to know them. Marion Weiler, we're going to start with you first. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ted. Hi, Yvonne. It's so nice to be back, Ted. I love this show and I love that topic because my background is within the real estate and working with so many brokerages, and agent retention is a big topic. You know, when you're looking at the overall business of real estate, that's where revenue is coming in. That's the livelihood of any brokerage. So I'm excited about that. And as you said,
tell us about you.
Yeah, I'm the founder and CEO of Weiler International, LLC, business consulting and leadership consulting. And I work and advise brokerage leaders in growth and supporting that kind of growth on an organizational level, on a branding level, marketing, all that good stuff. And so my background is as a former corporate executive for various brands within the real estate. So this is my world.
I love it. And you guys have watched her before. Mary and I did a series. I can't remember. It was earlier this year during COVID. All I know is that we got a great response. People loved it. And the insights and the nuggets that you give, all of the information that you provide is awesome and it's needed, especially right now. And then we have, of course, the one and only, like I said earlier, Yvonne Sandoval with Leverage 365. Welcome back, Yvonne. Tell us a little bit about you for those people who might be under a rock and don't know who you are.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show. This show is to help the agents out there. I have some agents who are looking to open up their own brokerage, and this is a topic that I definitely need to pass on to my clients. I am the owner and founder of Leverage 365. We are a real estate marketing firm helping real estate agents stay top of mind with their database of contacts. So absolutely, this is a great forum with 3 people who are highly embedded in the real estate world to help not only agents, but of course the brokers, because it starts from the top.
It does. And I feel like, and you guys know I'm VP of Community Relationships at VIP Mortgage Group. So my whole role is to work with brokers and agents and really try to find out. I love Broker Pains. I love the name of the show because so many of our brokers, our realtors, our team leaders are feeling that right now. They are trying to figure out how to hold on to the agents when there is a ton of expansion going on because the market itself has lent itself to that. And so people are looking for the best deal, the best commission, the best structure, the best culture. There's so many things that go into creating a team. And then once you have them in, you have to retain them. Retention's everything. So let's take a deep dive, Marion. Let's talk about it. You had this as one of your topics. Why?
I did, because retention, I always said when I was within the brokerage world embedded as part of the team, when you're really creating an environment where the agents, their values align with your goals, they're happy where they are, they're supported where they are, your recruiting efforts are much, much less. It's like with sales, when you have referrals or when you already have incoming business and your clients are happy, you have to do much less on the sales side to gain new business. And that's the same with agents. If you're really taking care of your agents from that perspective and you look at it that way, you're creating a much better culture. And when I'm talking about culture, I know that it's way beyond the financial incentives. I think, of course, the bonuses, the commissions, all of that is important, but it is so critically important to have those values, to have an environment where they are happy, where they feel supported. So I want to make sure that we're not forgetting that component, because even with tools and resources, I've seen so many agents feel so overwhelmed by all of the tools and resources, and brokerages or leaders feeling like we came out with this great new tool. We have these amazing resources. Why is nobody adopting it? Why aren't they happy? Right? You have like all this arsenal of stuff, and then they come and they say, oh, the competitor XYZ has this, we should have that too. And you just want to cry. Right?
Yes.
Because you're like, we have all of these amazing tools and resources. And that comes back to the point of, it is not all about those things. It's much more than that.
It's so much more. Yvonne, don't you think? Like, I know that a lot of brokers and team leaders say, but I offer them the newest software, or they're at 100%. What more do they want from us? Do you hear that out there too, Yvonne? Nope, she froze a little bit. Marion, tell us, do you hear that?
Oh, yeah, big time. And I can tell you how often I've heard that brokerage leaders are introducing something new, and they've worked on this. They spend a ton of money into the research, into the launch of whatever resource or tool that is granted an amazing tool. And the agents are on the side of, oh, here comes another thing I need to learn.
And they don't, I feel like they don't engage. Why are they not engaging and asking for input from their agents? Isn't that really, like, I could go out and spend $1 million on something, but if I haven't asked my agents, my team, if they're interested in it, if they like it, I'm just shooting blanks somewhere. I feel like I'm just shooting in the dark.
Couple things. For one, what I've seen is that it is a tool that they really need, but it's, say, a CRM, right? It could be as simple as a CRM. You really should have a CRM, but the agents, or a lot of the agents, feel that it's too complicated to learn. We don't have time. We're out in the field, and then they start getting frustrated, or they just simply don't really understand the functionalities. And that's another part where I always vetted on the side of, let's go simple. Let's make this really simple, because if you have to have hours and hours of training to understand a tool, you're not getting the adoption that you're looking for from an agent perspective. So simple is key. And truly communicating internally in this case, right? It's not just the external of, we have XYZ tools as a brokerage, which then becomes oftentimes a recruiting tool, but internally to say, here is what we have, and here is why this is important to you. We talk so much about the features and we forget about the benefits, right? Why do I, agent Marion, care about this tool? I got plenty of stuff going on. I don't need to sit in a training room or another Zoom meeting to learn how to do that, unless I understand that this tool is going to increase my sales, my referrals, or any other result that I'm looking for.
Yeah, Yvonne, don't you think you have to get the agent buy-in? Wouldn't that be the first thing you sort of figure out if you've got something you love and you want to add it, wouldn't you want your agents to sort of adapt to it, buy into it, love the idea of it before you spend all that money?
Yeah, I mean, there's use of tools by brokers is, probably what we should, be focusing on, is that they are not putting out, and as you said, they're not asking for feedback, by using like a survey monkey or other tools that do surveys for the incoming agents, and having the agents align and attract the agents that belong to that particular brokerage, meaning that because sometimes they're not all brokers, but they themselves don't know what their culture is.
You're right.
So they go into business, like so many of us do. They go into business and they open a brokerage, and then they think it's all about the tools that they can purchase. They don't even know what their message is, what their mission is, and that has been a big problem. So when they start attracting agents, they're attracting people who are not all in the same boat rowing together. Everyone has their own agenda, and everyone has their own goals. And because the broker, the head, did not put out the message of what he or she is looking for, and they're just kind of hiring any agent out there, that's where the disconnect comes in. So in their rush to put a brokerage together, and that's new brokers, that is, they don't have an alignment to goal because they themselves haven't published that goal.
You're right. They haven't. I don't think they've communicated it, which is probably one of the biggest issues that I hear from my agents about their broker, their team leader. Ted, they make all these decisions and nobody's even talked to me about it. And it's nothing I need, or I don't understand it, or I don't want it, or I've used it at another brokerage and it doesn't work for me. So let's give them some nuggets. Let's give them some pointers, Marion. What are some things that a broker, a team leader can do to really retain the agents that they have spent oodles of money on, oodles of time with, to get to the brokerage, and now they need to keep them and retain them?
So in terms of the resources and tools, since we were talking about that just now, the one thing that I've seen work really, really well, assuming that the tool we are adding to the already existing tools is something that is needed and has a business reason right behind it. That's an assumption that has to be done in the first place, but then having focus groups and really embedding agents that are in the field that will be using that in the process of developing and troubleshooting and seeing how it works. Because too often these tools are rolled out and then there are kinks in there and the agents get frustrated and it changes so much that the training goes on and on. So really focusing in on, let's bring the agents that are going to use it to the table and have them work hand in hand with the technology, IT, or marketing or training departments that are part of this process is step number one. The second part, and that is outside of the resources and the tools, is that your agents are going to be as happy as it is the support that you're giving them. That's the second key, right? It's when you look at this holistically and you align your organization where your teams on the corporate side are truly motivated, they're supportive, they understand the needs of the agents, the different marketplaces, and they provide that kind of support to your agents. That is what allows them to do their job, which is to be out, to be working with the clients, to be gathering up new business, and to troubleshoot with the agent. Now, when we're forgetting that piece of the puzzle, and they don't get that support, because I've also heard before where brokerage leaders communicate to their employees and they say, you have to understand the agent is the focus. But who wants to hear that, right? I want to feel valued. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel like I'm making a difference if I'm showing up in my role, in this case, in a corporate role, and the agent comes and says, my client is really difficult. How often have we heard that sentence, right? My client is really difficult. I need to have this to them by tomorrow, right? So you want your support staff to jump through hoops to make that happen. But that means you have to also keep your employees, your support staff, whether that's in the office or in corporate, you have to keep them motivated. And that's the one missing piece that I've seen over and over again. So those are the two main things. And there are, of course, a lot more.
Well, I think Yvonne and I have seen this. And tell us, Yvonne, from your perspective, because you meet with so many agents and brokers and in what you do, I feel like a lot of the leaders, brokers or team leaders, will say, but I gave them everything. What more do they want?
The employees or the agents?
I'm a visual. Well, this is what I'm a visual thinker, so I'm going to put it out there real simple. Think of a cheese sandwich. Okay, the cheese sandwich.
Okay, that is not where I thought we were going.
Yes. Okay, I'm here to shake it up. This is the thing. Think of a cheese sandwich. The one piece of bread is the agent. The other piece of the bread is the broker. What goes in between very often is one thin piece of cheese. And that's not enough to run a brokerage. Okay. So when Marion, when she says employees, to those of you out there who may not understand what she's saying the support system that a broker is supposed to put in that layers their business, that helps to liaison between themselves, the broker, and the agents. And many of the brokers out there are running on one piece of cheese. So it's not a thick enough sandwich to make a buffet. So so really putting in the support system, we have to really make sure that you have the systems and processes, because that could be part of that sandwich as well. That's like the lettuce and the tomato. But we have I'm so visual. That's what but I really want you to focus on letting the support staff be the ones who are helping. And that includes having on your staff a coaching mechanism. Maybe you have an in-house coach. Maybe you have a compliance officer. Maybe you have a transaction coordinator. These are all the kinds of tools that are human that need to be in place, that are that in between the broker and agent, that make a complete sandwich. And that's kind of the things that I see lacking. And there's a lot of direct to the broker, just agent broker, and that really doesn't help the broker, nor does it help the agent. They really need to have a support system in between.
And also not just the staff. I feel like a lot of brokers in general say, well, I hired them, I've given them everything I could ever want. It's what you decided as the broker team leader they want, not what they asked you for, which is a whole nother discussion. But I've given you everything you want. What do you mean you want to have a good support system? What do you mean that this top-notch $70 million CRM isn't what you want? What do you mean that you want me to help you on social media? They are doing it in a way that they think is a broker team leader. But again, it's back to the communication and listening to what the agent needs, because you can attract an agent because your people do well. You have a great presence. You have a great product. You have a great reputation, a great brand. But you can't keep them if you don't listen to what their needs are. And each of their needs are different. You can't blanket it across the board and say, well, I did this for everybody. Well, not everybody wants that stuff. I've
had agents change
brokerages. I think that's what she was going to say. Marion, tell us.
Yeah, no, you're so right, Ted. I think that, and we're all guilty of that. It's a human trait, right? That we do all of these things and we just expect that everybody is happy. And if they're not, we wonder what happened. But that listening is so critically important, because when sometimes it's also that feeling of they care what my opinion is, right? Yes. They care about what I say, and that can shift an entire conversation from the defensive mode of, oh, I want this, this, and this, even though I might not even really want that, right? What I want is I want to be heard. I want to feel important. I want to feel like my needs and my thoughts and my goals are a priority. And so the best brokerage leaders that I've seen make them feel that way without discriminating other agents. And it is, to your point, real estate probably of an industry, of all industries, there's so many personalities and so many A players that you have to navigate your way through, and it can come at the expense of another agent. So it's an art, it's a skill and an art.
Agreed. And I want to talk, when we talk at some point, we have a lot of topics that we're going to be talking about. This is going to be a weekly series. And we want your input. We want your ideas. We want the things that are causing you broker pains, so to speak. And we want to hear from you. And any of the agents out there, as you're watching, if you have a brokerage that you're at, obviously you can send me questions. You can send Marion or Yvonne questions and thoughts. We will keep those private and not tag you so your broker doesn't know. But I think it's so important for you to engage, because I think everyone is looking for that place where they feel good. You were talking about that earlier. They feel heard. They feel desired, wanted, respected. They feel like it's a place where they are supposed to be. And if they're not feeling that, they're going to slowly but surely drift away, and they're going to start looking for another place. So you spend all this money, all this time, all this effort, all this tons of money on these things that you think are important to them. And if you're not spending time, like Marion said, listening to them, then you are going to have an issue, which a lot of them do, with agent retention. All right, so we're going to do this weekly. We're going to have different topics. We want your involvement, so please reach out. And Marion, I'm going to start with you. Tell us the best way they can find you, how they can learn more about you. If we have a broker watching and they want to engage you at Weiler International, how do they do that?
On my website at www.weilerinternational.com, there's a field that you can reach out to me directly. We can set up an initial call, and we can discuss what it is that you're going through.
Fantastic. And Yvonne Sandoval adds a whole nother layer there. So Yvonne, what's the best way for them to reach out to you and learn more about what you do?
GetLeverage365.com, or you can always call or text at 407-915-8000.
Yes. All right. You all, I know you're feeling this, and I know you're listening, and I know that you want to ask questions and you want to learn more. So reach out to Marion, Yvonne, or me and follow us. We'll be here every week. We'll be doing a new topic on broker pains. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. Amazing information. You guys keep tuning in. Reach out to us. Let's figure out how to make those pains not so painful.